Ms. Wheeler, the floor is yours. You will read or something.
It's under 15.268, MCL 15.26.
Could you hesitate a minute? Ms. Fields, are you coming in?
Yes,
I want everybody to hear it. We'll wait.
I'm quite aware of the exceptions, but thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm aware of them too. Now I want everybody to hear them because we got some decisions to make.
So the first section under MCL 15.268, A discusses consider the dismissal, the suspension, disciplining, or to hear complaints or charges brought against, or to consider periodic personnel evaluation of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual if the named person requests a closed session.
So did y'all hear that and y'all understand it? In this one, I could be a named person and I can request an executive session. Y'all understand that? Is I'm interpreting that right?
Right,
Based on whatever the circumstances is.
Right, which means the person who is affected would need to be aware of that, be able to make that
And
decision.
I could be affected. I believe the employee could be affected, but in fact, I could be affected. So under the circumstances of these communications that went out from an employee in finance as it relates to me during that audit, I'll be requesting we talk about that in executive session under that rule. Keep reading the other rules.
That, so you know, if, like I said, first we need to be able to determine from what you have if it qualifies for that.
How many times have I been arrested in council meeting? I know what qualifies when it relates to me. And so, believe me, if me and Ms. Galloway already know, and the memo been on Facebook, I understand, and people in here know. Now, whatever discussion we need to know about it, but it does relate to folks making complaints. Can you read that again? Didn't you say a complaint? Read it.
It says, you have to read it all together. It says here to consider the dismissal, suspension, or disciplining, or to hear complaints or charges brought against, or to consider periodic personnel evaluation of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent if the named person requests the closed hearing. A person requesting a closed hearing may rescind the request at any time, in which case the matter at issue shall be considered after rescission only in open session. So.
Are you familiar with the complaint that was made by somebody in finance about me?
I don't know specifically what you're speaking of.
Okay,
and I
so
don't
the
want,
answer is no.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't want to misspeak because, like I said, I'd rather see what it is you're speaking of first.
Okay, well, so the answer is you're not familiar with the complaint.
I don't know specifically what you're speaking of.
We're talking about a complaint that was made. You got it, Ms. Galloway.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you pull it up and share it, and you can read it out loud if you want to.
Chair.
Ms. Fields?
Call for orders of the day. You had asked Ms. Wheeler to read these, but you did not ask for further conversation about your particular interest per each one of these.
It ain't my particular interest, it's the interest of the city. And so we on the first one that she read. And
Call for orders of the day.
we in the orders of the day. And the orders of the day is the discussion on the motion to go in executive session on Matthews, Palladino, the complaint I'm referring to, and another matter. We are in the orders of the day.
Ms. Wheeler has already stated
Fields,
those two
Ms. Fields,
issues
you
fall
want the
under
floor?
pending litigation.
I'm gonna give you the floor. Now speak, now that I done gave you the floor, because I didn't hear you when I didn't give you the floor. So now speak, I'm giving you the floor.
Ms. Wheeler has already stated that the two items that she wants to discuss under closed session fall under pending litigation. So anything past that is superfluous.
Well, I don't know what superfluous mean, but I do know what this means. When we discussed on agenda changes that we would talk about this complaint, Matthews and Palladino, it wasn't superfluous or rufulous or mufulous. It was discussed and we own it now, and that's the discussion. Mr. Davis, do you remember under agenda changes, we talked about more than one subject or two? We talked more than just Palladino and Matthews? Everybody sitting at this table should remember that. And so what does superfluous mean? Ms. Galloway?
I just want to say, just for you, I'm not going to read it, but it was sent, Attorney Wheeler, it was sent to you on December 27th. I think you were on vacation.
And it's been posted on Facebook. So December 27th, let me say this. If our staff, who I'm gonna take up for, gets a request for an executive session, and we bog down just like every other department, and we don't know if they got it or didn't, it's no different, Ms. Wheeler, than you getting that complaint on December 27th. Do you know how much paperwork we get? We got to start believing each other. We got to start working with each other. So now, is it any further discussion as it relates to that? If not, Ms. Wheeler, could you read the other 3, 4, or 5 reasons for executive session before I call for a vote?
Yes, C2 is higher education doesn't apply to us, or B is. C is for.
B is what?
It's for higher education for schools. It doesn't apply to the city.
Okay.
Okay. C, for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement if the negotiating parties request a closed session. D, to consider the purchase or lease of property up to the time an option or a purchase or a lease of that real property is obtained.
So stop right there. The discussion of properties can be an executive session. Read that a little more, because I don't want to put the properties that being acquired from foreclosure in executive session if not need be. What did that say? I read
It says
that the
to
other
consider
day.
the purchase or lease of real property up to the time an option or purchase or lease that real property is obtained.
And the reason I look at that, Ms. Galloway, and I know Mr. Winfrey gotta leave, the attorney gotta leave, so we gonna move forward, but we taking care of business. The reason I mention that when it discusses the properties we took from the treasurer for closing, Mr. Davis, and I hate to keep saying your name, but I will. Remember, some folks said it was illegal activity. Constantly, we done heard that. And that's bad to be doing when legally it ain't illegal. But you got folks saying that out here in open session. So keep that in mind as it relates to a reason to discuss property sales in executive session. Is that the last one, Miss?
No.
How many more? Go ahead.
E is to consult with it's an attorney regarding trial or settlement strategy and connecting with specific pending litigation. That only if a open meeting will have a detrimental effect on litigating or settlement position of the public body.
And that's the one that we going in on Matthews and Palladino. Is that it?
That's correct. Then F, to review and consider the contents of an application for employment to a public office if the candidate requests the application remain confidential. And there's some exceptions in that.
That's like if we're appointing somebody and we want to review it. Okay, so look.
There's still more.
Okay, go ahead.
And just so you know, the one that I was speaking about earlier, H, G is for the legislature, is not applicable to the city, for the state legislature, so it's not applicable to the city. H is to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute.
And the exempt one would be the confidential memos and or emails.
No, it'd be like an attorney-client privileged document.
I said confidential memos. That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah.
That's what a confidential memo is. It's
Alright.
a attorney-client privilege. We get them all the time from your office, so I want the public to know when we say confidential memos, we're saying the same thing. The problem we got is too many people trying to act like folks don't know what's happening, and folks do know what's happening. And it's wasting our time to have to do this when we already know the rules. We should know the rules. And the rules tell us we can go in executive session on a vote of 6 or more. We make a record. We don't have to have it on no agenda in advance. And we done went over this. It's like beating a dead horse. Now, this is the question and discussion I got before I called for the vote. How many people object to going into the executive session as it relates to the complaint? Anybody? It was a complaint made on me from somebody. You object, would that mean you vote no? Okay, so the motion that we vote on as it relates to executive session is the Matthews case, the Palladino case, and the complaint. All in favor of going to executive session, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mays? Mr. Mays?
Roll call.
I'm asking how you're voting, yes or no?
Oh, I didn't know what you were saying. Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Ms. Galloway?
Yes.
Mr. Grace?
Yes.
Ms. Worthing?
No.
Can't go.
Okay, so executive session fails.